What's going on, fam? Jaye Black here, another video. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I'm going to talk about the truth about this Cuba Gooding Jr. situation that he has found himself in. And that's going to be the theme of this video. It's about self-accountability. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. But make sure you like this video. Also, if you're new, click the notification bell and enable all notifications. Because when I looked on my analytics, because now you can see how many people are actually hit the notification bell, and a lot of y'all not hitting it. Only 20% of my subscribers, 20% have hit the notification bell. And then you wonder why you can't see live shows and you miss certain videos. I got people who send me it's not links, they asked me to do video topics that I did days prior because they did not hit the notification bell. Okay, so make sure you do that so you can see videos like this and you won't send me emails looking stupid. But anyway, I want to talk about Cuba, man. I reviewed a couple different videos. Actually, as I'm recording, I'm still looking at, videos that are posted everywhere. Like, I'm literally on Twitter just looking at different feeds, reading different articles. And apparently this particular female, who I believe happens to be a Caucasian female, right? And she's making the accusation that Cuba groped her. Now, looking at the video, you do see him reach over his girlfriend who's sitting right next to him, right? And apparently there was a female who either was a fan who saw him and went over there to talk to him. He reached over and grabbed her by her thigh or whatever. And they're still talking. There's no awkwardness yet. Now, there was said to be groping. I didn't necessarily see that. Maybe y'all did. But apparently sometime after that situation, she went and told security of what had happened, right? Now, I will say it's very interesting. When she went over there and talked to Cuba, there was another guy who went over and, kind of broke up the conversation. So maybe things had took a turn for the awkward, but once again, the girl stayed there. All right. Now, according to this TMZ article, it says Cuba Gooding Jr. definitely touched the thigh and breast of the woman accusing him of groping. It's clear in this surveillance video obtained by TMZ, but of course, TMZ has had their own issues. But his attorney, they can get some videos though. But his attorney seemed to be interpreting it as just differently than the police. Around 10 p.m. on Sunday, Gooding and his girlfriend Claudine De Niro were sitting on a couch in the Magic Hour rooftop lounge in NYC when the accuser sat next to them. Almost immediately, you see Cuba reach over Claudine and place his hand on the woman's left thigh. A few seconds later, his hand moves up to her breast, and the accuser puts her hand on his. What happens next is open to interpretation. She either pushes his hand back towards him or he pulls her hand to his mouth and kisses it. I did see that. It seemed like a very awkward interaction once the guy came over. Maybe he saw something. Maybe he was, maybe he knows the girl. But once again, when you look at the situation, this has a lot to do with Cuba and his decision making, because if he is groping this woman, he did grab her thigh, but the woman did not move. She did not make a move to sort of get him away from her. I guess because Cuba's from my understanding, Cuba is very known for partying, getting drunk, and just acting really wild. Okay, even with his girlfriend there, he's grabbing the thigh of another female. That's somebody who has his own issues. I'm seeing people blaming the fact that he's dating, you know, a Caucasian female, they're saying that that played a part into it. Now, I will say that there have been stories that I have read, that I have done myself, where a brother interacted with a Caucasian female, and it did not end well for that guy. Okay, even there's a story, there's a video I did last year, I believe, about a guy who was just dancing, flirty with a female, left with the female, didn't have any sex with her whatsoever, but she still ended up going to police and saying that he assaulted her, and he ended up, you know, in prison. You know, we seen the ex-Baylor football player. I can't think of his name right now. The ex-Baylor football player. Y'all know I did a video on him. There was a girl he would mess around with. You know, he took her back to his place one night. They did whatever, and she ended up accusing him of assault. And this was right before he was said to be drafted into the NFL. Basically ruined his career. Now, those females may have been Caucasian, pretty much are, but I want people to understand it's the decisions that you make. Unfortunately, as a black man, you have to be very careful out here. And Cuba seemed like the guy who, when he's drunk and he's partying, he doesn't care. He's caught up in the moment. He's not trying to level it down, you know? Even with his girlfriend there, who happens to be Caucasian as well. And people are using that against him. Let me tell y'all something, man. A lot of these actors and actresses in Hollywood are out there dating different ethnic groups of people, whether it be male or female. So I don't get why people are trying to weaponize who he is dating. That has a lot to do with Cuba. Listen, Cuba reached over and grabbed that girl by her thigh, man. He didn't have to do that. He did it anyway. So we have to look at the accountability in that situation. You cannot put yourself in situations where you as a black man could have your life derailed due to your actions, whether you're with a black woman or a white woman. Another man then walks over and stands in front of the group. He puts his hands on the shoulders of Cuba, and the accuser leans over and appears to be talking to the entire group. Things get a little weird then, as a man gyrates, drawing attention to his crotch. It appears Gooding and his girlfriend playfully paw at his couch. Yeah, that was weird. Because at first, I'm looking at the video, I see the guy come over, I'm saying, you know, maybe he saw something and he wanted to sort of, you know, get in the middle of it. But he's over there. I'm telling y'all, these parties are weird, man. A lot of weird stuff goes on at these parties. And, you know, and first off, ain't no dude gonna be standing in front of my girl, gyrating and doing whatever, without him getting a two-piece. I'm just saying. Without him getting a two-piece. I mean, what are you doing, bro? You know? Let's see. The guy also takes a drink away from Gooding. A few more people join the group and everyone's casually chatting for a few more minutes. They all walk away separately but in the same direction. About 3 minutes after the initial touching, there's no argument. So what they're basically saying is that if it was such a problem, how come the girl didn't immediately get up and leave? She stood there with the group. You know, maybe because she was drunk too, or maybe because somebody told her what they saw and she was like, oh my God, you know? It could be one of those situations. You just never know what's going on in somebody's head, you know? However, about 30 minutes later, Cuba and Claudine were downstairs lounging on a couch and making out. A man who we're told worked security for the bar was standing next to the couch when the accuser approached him and started arguing. She appears to say yes, he did. She repeated that after the security guard shook his head. It's unclear if Cuba heard their conversation, but he got up, stumbled, and then walked right past the accuser and left. Claudine, the security guard, followed right behind him. So that may have, I don't know if that was somebody that he brought in, but it's interesting that the security guard was right next to Cuba. You know, I think what happened was Cuba and his girlfriend was there. Nobody really recognized him. And maybe the girl recognized him and she went over there first. And then the other guy came over there, and then more people started to come over there. And I think that's when they left and they went to a different section. Now you got the security guard standing next to them. Maybe they went and got security. Maybe Cuba felt like they needed security. Maybe the girlfriend felt like it. Maybe they felt like they were too recognizable in that situation, you know. As we reported, Gooding was arrested Thursday and booked for misdemeanor forcible touching and abuse in the 3rd degree. His attorney, Mark Heller, told us Wednesday he saw no criminality on Cuba's part in the video, something he repeated after the arrest. Cuba himself spoke Tuesday in LA and told us he believed the surveillance video would show what really happened, and that's the most important thing. This was a few days ago. You know, it was very interesting seeing Cuba do the perk walk. It's like, does he really need all that? Now, maybe it depends on your level of charges, but the fact that he's doing a perk walk for a misdemeanor when he turned himself in, now maybe that's protocol, maybe that's just how protocol goes. But that was the striking thing about this. And the whole time he's smiling, maybe because he knows that either he didn't do anything or he knows that, you know, hey, you know, no publicity is bad publicity. I hope that's not his mindset. I'm hoping that there are people that are around. Like his girlfriend was right there. She could easily debunk this. But you do have a video of Cuba getting touchy-feely, which is exactly why Cuba, okay, needs to have accountability in this situation. Because even if you weren't groping this woman, Cuba, you're still going to, in that situation, be, you know, put yourself in a position to be accused, in a position to get yourself arrested for making a bad decision. You got to do better, Cuba. You got to do better. And I think that there are people who are going to be looking for a way to give Cuba a pass. I don't know if there's really a way you can. I mean, you can see him touching a woman's thigh. Now, again, as far as the groping of the breast, it looked like something was there. I'm not really sure. Maybe y'all saw a lot more than me. You can let me know in the comment section. I can go back and look at the video again. But she did not immediately leave. She did not immediately leave the situation, which leaves a lot into interpretation. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? Why did you leave with them? Basically, you know. I guess go to a different area. I don't know. But you can let me know what you think in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.